as you know, I'm Jim from JimShapedCoding. So on the 8th tutorial, we are going to focus on 5 absolutely useful methods that I personally use when I work in Python with strings. Okay, so in the last episode, we learned about methods and what they are and how I can use this. So if you don't remember, let's give a quick example. Let's say that we have a name equals to Jim, and I want to print all of the letters of the Jim all in uppercase. So this is a method that I can use, and I can do print name dot, and here I can look for the upper method, for example. And if I execute that, you will see that I get JIM all in uppercase. So we are going to learn about 5 absolutely useful string methods on this one. And let me put those 5 methods in front of you. So we are going to start with capitalize and then title, upper, lower, and the final one would be replace, which is really interesting. So we have a string that looks like Jim is the teacher for this tutorial. And in purpose, I'm going to mess up the letters in the last word. Great, so let's try to use each of the methods and print them. So we got in the first place title.capitalize, and after that we got print title.title, little funny sequence here, print title.upper, print title.lower, and finally we got print title.replace. But this one I will leave in a comment. So if we did not comment any sentences in Python, be aware that you can do this with the so-called hashtag sign. So you can write there anything you want if you put just hashtag before your sentence. So let's see what the capitalize is doing. Okay, so the capitalize is actually going to take only the first letter and capitalize it up. So it is really simple, okay? It doesn't matter if we have 200 letters in our sentence. It is just going to turn up the first letter to an uppercase letter. So this is what capitalize is about. Now, if you look to title, it is very interesting because the title is going to search for spaces in your string, and once it found the space, it's going to search for that first letter right after the space and turn it to an uppercase letter. So as you see, each word in this sentence is in uppercase, like this one, J, I, T, T, and so on. This is all words, so it turns all the words to an uppercase letter. And if we go to title.upper, it is really simple to see that it turns all the letters to uppercase, and the title.lower will give us all the letters in lowercase. So as we understood all the 4 methods, let's go to the one that is a little bit tricky, and it's called replace. Now, you can guess already what replace is going to do for us, but anyways, so you can take the replace here, and right after you add the parentheses, you see that I have something popped up right after when I hover my mouse in the parentheses. And now we discover that we can put in some information between the parentheses in order to make that method perform successfully. So for sure, if you want to replace something with a new thing, you probably need to mention that something you want to replace and to what to replace it, right? So this is going to be exactly like I told you. So what I want to do is, so for example, if I want to switch the Jim with the John, what I have to do is, first of all, writing that I want to switch the Jim, okay? So right after that, I have to put the comma sign, and right after that, you see that this new str thing is now bolded because this is the new thing that I'm going to switch that with Jim. So let's put here John, and if I print this, you will see that I will get John in our next print. Alright, so this is how you can replace strings. And also what you can do is actually taking off this print right from here and doing something like new string is equal to that new string, and when you execute this, For sure, we get back John instead Jim in the beginning of this sentence. So this is how you can use the replace method. You have to specify an old string and you have to specify a new one. So as we done discussing about those 5 methods, let's jump on to our next example. Now what I'm going to do is bring some new code with just one line, and it says Jim codes. Now what happens if I want to get a specific letter only from the name? For example, if I want to get the third or the fifth letter from this string, well, this is obviously something that I can do, alright? So let's show how you can do this. Imagine that whenever you have a string, by default, Python already indexes it with numbers. So how it indexes it? It gives an index number for each character. Even space is included in that, so to pay your attention, this is really important. And the way it indexes is by starting with 0. So 0 refers to capital J, alright, and 1 refers to I, and 2 refers to M, and 3 refers to the space right there. So if I go like 5, 6, 7, 8, done. So this is how Python indexes your strings. So what you can do is accessing each of the letter by putting in those indexes. So let's give an example, alright? So what if I want to print the first letter only? So I can take that name, and right after that I can open square brackets, and this is where I can specify my index. Now if I put 0 here and print this, for sure I will get back the capital J. And if I put 2, I will get the M letter. But this is not quite interesting, because what happens if I want to get first 5 letters of string or something? Well, we can do this with specifying a start index and an end index, and use between them the colon sign like this. So let's say we want to start off with the first letter, and then I can put the colon sign, and right after that I can put the 5 here, and this will give me back the first 5 characters of this string. Now you're asking probably, Jim, why did you put 5 here and not 4? Because if you put 4, this will probably get me this, and this one. Well, the point is, what Python does with the number we put in the right side of the column, it says the amount of the letters you get back and not the end index. Think of the last number here as not included in the amount of strings you want to get. So for example, if you want to get your first 2 letters of your string, you have to do 0 colon 2 and not 0 colon 1, because you have to specify the amount of letters you want to get back right after you specify that start index. So for example, if I do 0 colon 2, this will give me only the first 2 letters of the string and not the first 3 letters, because the number after the right side of the column is the amount of letters you want to get back. So this is quite enough of the stuff you can do with strings. Obviously, there are lots of more things you can do with strings that we are not going to cover for this stage. And I hope that you like the content of this video, because this is a bunch of information of stuff you can do with Python strings. And right after you practice those methods and the string indexing, jump on to the 9th episode. So don't forget to crack the subscribe button and like this video. Comment below for any question you have, and I will see you in the next one.